Before the season even started, I said that the Winnipeg Jets needed to add a middle six forward in free agency this last, free agency period, and that did not happen. Fast forward a few months, and the Winnipeg Jets are playing pretty good hockey, even with, a really injury-riddled squad. Carson Kuhlman on the top line at one point. Not an ideal situation, but the Jets were able to persevere. And right now we're looking at a Jets team that has really floundered since maybe mid-January, and right now it's not getting much better. We're nearing the end of February right now, and the Winnipeg Jets have just played their most unhinged game I've ever seen against the Colorado Avalanche, quickly down 4-1 at the end of the first period there. And it's currently, as I'm making this video, not even the end of the game. It's the end of the second period. The Jets are down 5-1 currently. So if anything dramatic changes here, I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but I'm not anticipating anything crazy. The Jets, just plain and simple, need help, and they're not getting it from Kevin Cheveldayoff. Rick Bowness doesn't seem to have the answers. I don't know what the hell Rick Bowness is doing. He had a 4-on-4 at one point in this game, and he put out Lowry and Wheeler down 5-1. You're just not serious at that point. You're not trying to win the hockey game. I get you're down 5-1, and it's pretty much all said and done at that point, but come on now. At least make an effort, right? I don't know what to say, guys. This is just embarrassing. The Jets are in desperate need of a cry for help. The vibes have run out. The Jets have been running on vibes this whole season. And, last month has been pretty inconsistent. It's been looking a lot like the Winnipeg Jets we knew from last season. And now we look ahead right now where we're sitting, and Colorado's going to be 2 points behind Winnipeg. If Minnesota wins tonight, they're going to leapfrog the Jets, which I think is hilarious because Minnesota, a team that's really, hasn't played that well as of late, is going to leapfrog the Jets. Let's just put this in perspective. The West is wide open right now, or supposedly was. Now that, Colorado's healthy, they're kind of taking the reins there. But just a lack of help for Winnipeg just has resulted in them floundering. The Jets need a spark in the worst way, and I don't know that a Max Domi or a JVR really does it. I don't know if that's going to be the fix. This Jets team is in desperate need of help on definitely the forward core, defensively arguably. You look at Neil Pionk, I don't know what Pionk's doing out there. Blake Wheeler is showing his age. There's players on this team that shouldn't even be in the lineup, like Saku Manalainen. Every single puck dies on that guy's stick. I counted 2 or 3 instances today where he just, totally messed up an offensive scoring chance, didn't even get a puck on net. He just doesn't know what to do offensively. He can kill a penalty, can't play in the O-zone at all. And you can say that for a lot of players on this team. Adam Lowry, terrible year he's had this year. I was really liking his game through 30 games. Not so much right now. I don't know what he's doing out there. He looks lost. He can't play defense, can't play offense. Carson Kuhlman, don't know what he does for this team. Morgan Barron, I don't know. He's just a guy out there. Kevin Stenlund, garbage, don't care. Mason Appleton, he's up in the top 6. He scored his first goal with a goaltender in the net today, though. Second of the year for Appleton. Yay! Hey, there we go. There's a positive, right? But yeah, no, not too much positive to take out of this game. And when you look at Rick Bowness, I don't know what his strategy is. When the Jets don't play very well, his first thing that pops into his mind is, I got to demote Nick Ehlers. Nick Ehlers goes to the fourth line for a portion of the first period, and it's like, why is Nick Ehlers the guy getting the flack here? Why is it always him? It always seems to be him. Why are you picking on Nick Ehlers? Go pick on the guys that aren't doing jack shit for this hockey team right now. Go yell at Manalainen. Go yell at anybody in the bottom 6. Go yell at Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, anybody. Why is it always Ehlers? Why is Pionk's minutes not decrease this year? He has had one of the worst defensive years I've seen in a long time, and I've seen many bad Jets teams. This rivals the Tucker Pullman, the Derek Forbert. Those guys weren't good, and Pionk is very scarily close to their level this year. Why is his ice time still the same? Why is it Nikolai Ehlers that is getting his ice time demoted? And then the answer to that is you take Ehlers down and you put in Manalainen, who is arguably the worst player on this team, and one of the worst players in the NHL, might I add. I just don't understand it. Blake Wheeler has looked like a pile of garbage for a lot of the season, and what have we done about it? Have we seen Wheeler's ice time demoted? No. There's a lot of games where I see Mark Scheifele and Pierre-Luc Dubois, and they're pretty uninspiring. And what happens with them? Really nothing. Who else? Kyle Connor, horrific defensively. Does anything happen to Connor? No. It's always Nick Ehlers, and the answer is always to put up a fourth line guy that doesn't do anything anyway to, maybe spark the player, spark the team, and it does pretty much the opposite. I'm sure a lot of guys are mad in the room, and they should be mad in the room. They should be mad at themselves, they should be mad at the coach, and they should be mad at the GM for not doing a very good job, bringing in some help for this team when they desperately need a spark and some improvement to the roster. And we see the moves that other teams are making, right? And it's no joke in the East. Those guys are competing. It's an arms race over there. Tarasenko goes to the Rangers, and that fan base and the team is electrified. They believe, their GM believes in them. They're going forward. The Leafs go out and they pretty much mortgage the future for Ryan O'Reilly to really go forward here, make a splash. He's playing incredible in Toronto, and the fan base is pumped. The team is pumped. Everybody believes in that team over there in Toronto. And then you go to Winnipeg, where they desperately need help more than any team that's made a move so far, especially to the forward core. And what have the Jets done so far? Well, they've inquired on a lot of players. That's where it stands right now. The Jets have not made a move, and I get a lot of teams haven't made a move yet. But you can only save so much money for the trade deadline. Every day that the Jets wait to make a move, they get more cap space, right? That's how it works right now. They get more trade deadline space. But there comes a point where you need to say, fuck the cap space and figure this out. This is unbelievable levels of sad. This Jets team is not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere with, a small couple bargain bin forward moves. It's just not going to happen. You need to go out, make a big fish splash, or don't even bother at this point. There's an argument that the Jets, might want to sell, right? I don't think they're going to sell because we see how hard-headed this team is and how much they seem to believe in themselves no matter how much they struggle. We've seen that last season where even though we traded Andrew Kopp and we admitted, hey, we got to get rid of him, we got to, recoup assets for him, we can't lose him for nothing. And we got a fantastic haul, by the way, from the New York Rangers. But we also go out and we get a guy like Zach Sanford. Like, what are we doing here? Like, just pick a direction. Predictably, Zach Sanford did nothing, and he's playing in the AHL right now. I would love to get that 5th-round pick back, by the way. But anyway, if the Jets go out and make a couple Zach Sanford-esque deals at the deadline, I don't even know why they're bothering. Just, don't even worry about it. But this team has a lot of flaws. Nothing new here. We've been having a pretty negative week on the channel. We've been talking about it, and it's just the way it is. Are the Jets going to be able to play out of this? No. They've proved they aren't going to be able to play out of this. This group isn't going to take them very far without, substantial change to the forward core and arguably on defense with Neil Pionk. He's just dragging this team. But it is so crazy that Neil Pionk is probably one of the lesser concerns right now, especially with how incredibly bad he's played all season long, really. After Game 3 of the year, he's been horrific. But Chevy, got your work cut out for you. I don't know what you're going to do in the, going up to the trade deadline. You'll probably make some kind of trade or something. We'll probably end up getting JVR, Max Domi, plugging them in, and that's our big splash. I don't know. You can do whatever the hell you want, but unless this team sees some big changes, this team is not going very far. I've had a blast getting behind this team all season long, but what I predicted the Jets to be this season heading into it was pretty much this. A team that, was good, and some nights their stars would, come in and really push them to wins. However, they just don't have the depth to really get there. So unless there's some massive changes, I don't see them going much farther. Been a fun season, and I'm not necessarily writing the Jets off right now, but unbelievable how quickly this has folded. The Jets are really going to have to battle it out the next 23 games or so that they have here coming up. And they're in danger of not even making the playoffs, which I think is hilarious. This is a cry for help, and this is arguably the most extreme cry for help I've seen the Jets have maybe ever. And if Chevy isn't on the phone right now trying to facilitate something big, I don't know what he's doing. Don't even bother. I don't know why he's the GM still here. If he doesn't have the craziest week of his life as a GM in the NHL, I don't see a reason for him to come back next year. I think he should be shown the door. I know he won't because best friends with Mark Chipman, right? And we know how loyal the True North is to their employees, which is another thing that's incredibly frustrating. But that's, a video for another time. But yeah, big things need to happen. If they don't, I don't know what this team's gonna do. Could miss the playoffs, or they might be the second wildcard team, play the Avalanche in the first round, and be out in 5 games at the max. So that is the harsh reality that the Jets are looking at. Hopefully stuff changes, but I'm not, for the moment, getting my hopes up too big. The Jets owe it to Connor Hellebuyck, who has been saving their ass for 5-6 seasons now. They owe it to Josh Morrissey, who's had an incredible year. Nick Ehlers, everybody that's been behind this team for years now, to really load up and build up this team and have some faith going into the playoffs and get off your fucking hands and make some moves. Make this team better, because you're not going anywhere right now. But I'm going to leave it there, everybody. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.